The lights are dim, the camera is on, and Diane Lane leans back in her chair, smiling in a way that makes every moment memorable. Her smile hints at fun and mystery. She laughs, smooth and low, the kind of laugh that draws you in to hear more. "You really want me to answer that?" she playfully asks, her eyes sparkling. At 60, I've learned that honesty can be risky, especially when it involves good-looking men. The interviewer smiles, encouraging her to keep talking. She sighs. It's a slow, dramatic breath, like she's about to share a story. "Look," she continues, "I've spent my life around beautiful, talented men. Some are too young, some are too perfect, and all feel out of reach. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it. But I'm a lady," she adds with a wink, showing she's only partially joking. She crosses her legs, looking calm and collected. Her voice takes on a smooth, personal tone. "There's a difference between fantasy and action. Trust me, fantasy is usually better. It keeps the mystery and the excitement. Sometimes the smartest choice is to stop before you make a decision you regret." Her smile grows, knowing and a little risky. "But I'll tell you this, 6 men made me forget my lines, my cool, and maybe even my morals. I never crossed the line," she says, leaning in closer. "But I considered it more than once." She leans back, her eyes shining with the fun of a woman who still has stories to share. "So, who were they?" "Let's say some of Hollywood's best made it hard to stay professional." She smiles again, slow and confident. "And at 60, I'm finally ready to admit it." 1. Richard Gere, the quiet focus that disarmed her completely. "Richard Gere," she begins, and smiles with a soft laugh. "You can't be in a scene with him without people mentioning chemistry. It's just there. The way he looks at you with those steady eyes, calm presence, and quiet confidence that fills the space before he speaks." She clasps her hands and looks back, recalling. "At the start of Unfaithful, he seemed so polished, prepared and ready. I thought, easy enough. Then, during our first table read, he looked at me, and suddenly my script might as well have been written in a foreign language. It wasn't a big move on his part, just that intense focus, revealing layers within. You don't just feel seen, you feel understood. It takes your breath away." Her laugh becomes warmer and easier. A few months later, faking passion with him, long days of shooting and intense moments, starts to feel real. A rhythm develops, an unspoken connection, a look that lasts a moment too long, a breath held in the silence between cut and action. You settle into it, holding your pose even after the scene ends. The crew exchanges knowing glances, pretending they don't see the sparks. She tilts her head and shakes it with a smirk. By nights in Rodanthe, it felt like returning to an old routine, as if we were picking up a conversation from years ago. We joked around during breaks. He'd recall lines from our first movie, and I'd pretend to groan. But that playful banter, it relaxed everything, made it feel authentic. That comfort is rare. It helps the audience believe in the story. Her tone lowers teasingly. I've said this before. Richard has a smooth charm that sneaks up on you. You think you're steady, and then he smiles, and any clever line you had planned disappears. It's a trap. She laughs again, and it's clear she enjoys the experience. In the end, working with Richard felt like getting cozy by a fire on a chilly night. You think you're warming up, but it pulls you closer. I managed to stay composed, she adds with a steady grin. Mostly. But the line between acting and feeling was always thin. 2. Kevin Costner, the steady pull of unspoken challenge. "Kevin," she says, shaking her head slightly as if she's still in the moment. "That guy can make even standing still look legendary. On the first morning of Let Him Go, he walks in, hat in his hand, voice like old leather, eyes locking onto yours directly. There's nothing flashy about him. He has this calm presence that draws you in, and before you know it, you're leaning closer without even thinking." She relaxes in her chair, lowering her voice. "Kevin carries a strong presence. He makes you feel grounded, like nothing can upset the balance. But if you look deeper, you find a spark, a challenge, a flicker. When we would rehearse a scene, he wouldn't rush in. He would actually listen to you, fully focused, without distractions. And suddenly, how you deliver your lines changes. That's the real magic, something you can't script." Her smile brightens, her eyes shining as if she's reliving it. "He has a quiet way of teasing you too. You're entirely in character, focused on your lines, and then unexpectedly, just a hint of a smile. Not a full grin, just the corner of his mouth lifting. It catches you off guard, eyes on the cue, not the warmth rising in your face. Total surprise. Diane laughs, a fresh sound as if it happened just yesterday. He has a way of bringing silence to the set. When he crosses his arms, everyone goes quiet. Good luck trying to deliver your lines then. It feels like dancing with a storm. One misstep, and he takes control without trying. Her tone softens, wrapping around the thought gently. But at his core, he's a good person, steady and reliable. He's all business but has a caring side, protecting the delicate parts like treasure. When you're deep in your emotions, you want that support. He gives you space to open up without judgment. She glances at the interviewer, her smile calm and understanding. Here's the takeaway from working with Kevin Costner. Strength doesn't need to shout. Sometimes it stands firm, calm, and steady, and lets its presence be felt momentarily. 3. Josh Brolin, the wild energy that kept everyone on their toes. "Josh," she says, and you can feel her excitement. He's full of energy, acting on instinct and working hard. You can feel that energy even before he looks at you. She enjoys the memory, like an old shoe that fits perfectly. When we worked on Jonah Hex, he brought a restless energy that made a straightforward scene thrilling. The good kind of excitement. He doesn't repeat himself, he shifts his gaze, adds something new to a line, and suddenly, everything feels alive. You have to keep up or he'll pull you into the whirlwind he creates. Her laugh is quick and genuine, like striking flint. He has a wild side, but it also comes with a soft spot. He delivers lines with power, then makes a joke, checking if you're okay. That mix of toughness and warmth, it draws you in. She leans in, eyes shining with mischief. Josh has a quiet intensity. You're deep in a scene, focused on your role, and then you catch his eye. For a moment, everything feels real and raw. That's a special moment, where trust meets excitement. Her tone softens. He's fearless. His boldness inspires you. Working with him reminded me of what acting should feel like. Messy but graceful. She smiles, her eyes crinkling with joy. Josh Brolin lifts you without any effort. And yes, she adds with a playful wink, he's just as powerful in front of the camera when the lights are on as when they're off. 4. Matt Dillon, the boyish spark of 80s cool. "Matt," she says, and it feels like we're back in those awkward teen movies. We were just kids, so clueless, acting like we knew everything about being adults. She laughs, poking fun at her younger self. He had that cool vibe every 80s director wanted. Picture him leaning against a set wall, dressed sharp, staying quiet, and somehow taking up all the space on screen. I was trying to keep up, my jaw tight to hide my amazement. I messed up time and again. A spark lights up her eyes, filled with mischief. "Matt?" He can turn nothing into a big performance. You're there with the script, and suddenly he's telling a story just by staring. That kind of power is amazing, and a bit tricky, pulling you in before you realize it. She smiles, shaking her head. Even back then, he had control of the set. When he delivered his lines, he'd show a little smile. Unplanned, not in the script, and I forgot what to say next every time. Decades later, that smile is still clear in my mind. Her voice softens like she's wrapping herself in a warm blanket. Now, he presents that coolness as smoother and less flashy. While many fade with age, Matt keeps his spark steady. When you see him act today, it's like glowing coals, not an explosive display. She glances at the interviewer, a quiet laugh escaping her. Have you ever had a co-star who brings back memories of a different time? Matt Dillon does that for me. It's a mix of excitement and nerves, like the moment before your big performance when the lights are shining bright. 5. Tom Cruise, the fearless momentum that lit up every set. "Tom," she says, and everything speeds up. He was full of energy and excitement. In the 80s, he came on set like a shooting star, and you could feel the energy as he got closer. We were all new, trying to keep up, while Tom was already in control. Although he wasn't famous yet, he was clearly going places. His confidence attracted everyone. He talked quickly, like a machine gun, and his energy was contagious. Even after a long day, he enthusiastically planned the next scene. This inspired you to work harder and feel alive. Tom was charming, like an eager puppy. Everything else faded away when he looked you in the eye, and it felt personal. That's his exceptional talent on screen. He mixes fire and warmth. When he connects with you, it feels real, genuine. Tom made every set exciting. After filming, you walked away feeling energized, happy, and wide awake. 6. Christopher Lambert, the European mystery that charged every quiet moment. Christopher, she remembers, thinking back to their time together. He was smooth on the surface, but there was always something deeper. She relaxes her hands, ready to share her memories. During night moves, we spent hours discussing lines and raw emotions. When he focused on you, he was all in. Even quiet moments felt charged, like we were connected without words. Her laughter is soft. And that accent? It had more impact than any lines we read. His playful nature kept everyone alert. She shakes her head with a smile. He acted with purpose. Every look and breath meant something. Working with him felt like a slow game of chess. It was exciting to guess his next move. Her expression softens, showing her admiration. The best part? He let moments unfold naturally, making them feel real. Confident people don't take center stage. They share it, making everything feel alive. Diane smiles, thinking about their different backgrounds, LA and Paris, but feeling in sync during their time together.